This is one of my favorite questions. It's from a girl or a woman named Andrea. She asks, putting politics aside, if reopening schools were up to you, Dr. Fauci, what would your recommendation be?
Yeah, my recommendation would be exactly what I said to the governor when I made my brief introductory remarks. It would be depending upon where you were. And I think to say all schools must close or all schools must open is not the adequate and correct approach. You've got to be flexible, because I know, because I get asked this a lot, when you're in a red zone, you're going to have teachers that are very anxious. You're going to have parents that are very anxious. So the decision may be made for you without your recommendation, because if most of the teachers don't show, you're going to do virtual anyway. So my feeling would be, if you're in a green zone, it's likely with a couple of simple things in place, you can do what Rhode Island is trying to do. If you're in a yellow zone, you need to be a little careful, a little bit more. You got to be able to do things that are one step more than what you would do in a green zone. And if you're in a red zone, you really better be very careful. You really better be very careful. In fact, you may make a decision to hold off for a bit to see how things roll out, and maybe you can get down. There's one thing I would like to say, Governor, that's important, because, it gets away from the political tension of it. Is the best way for a state, a city, or a county that's red to get their children back to school is to do what's needed to become yellow and to do what's needed to become green. It's in your purview. You can do it. Rather than saying, I'm in red, I'm going to stay in red, let me open the schools. I say, you want to open your schools? Get out of the red. Do what you need to do. Close the bars. Forget the congregation in front of a lot of different people. Wear your mask, because we know when you do that, you will bring the infection down. Mm-hmm. And when you bring the infection down, then you go to the yellow. And when you keep bringing it down, you go to green. So, sometimes we've said, and I've heard other people say, and I'll repeat it, because, if you're, and this is not applicable to Rhode Island because you're well into green, but if you are a red state and you want to get your schools open, you could ask yourself the question, you have a choice, either close the bars or close the schools. Because if you have people congregating in bars, it's likely you're going to stay red. If you do something about that, it's very likely you'll transition into yellow or transition into green.